I was just playing Uma Musume, so I figure I might as well do some quizzes on Uma Musume. And if that doesn't go well, I got some extra ones later that aren't horse girls. So the participants of this Kahoot will be me and nobody else, because nobody else is available for this. That's fine, it doesn't matter. I mean, what does matter are the horse girls we made along the way. Of course, as always, I've refrained from looking at the questions ahead of time. This one's just horse girls, right? This one? Oh, that worked out well then. I just always call them horse girls. I don't pay attention to the beginning part of it, you know. This edition of Kahoot is limited to personal use. Upgrade to use it for commercial reasons. Well, good thing I'm not making money off this video. If you saw an ad, it wasn't from me. Anyway, true or false? Uma Musume also have human ears. I'm pretty sure that's a no. Good. Because that would be really weird. Because I was watching Cinderella Grey, and I was like, huh, sometimes they have both ears. So I looked meticulously at their ears. Or where their human ears would be. Just to check. And I couldn't see a thing. So I had assumed it was false, and I assumed correctly, I suppose. The Uma Musume project was originally... What? A game, an anime, and manga series. That... I always say it's to promote a mobile game? Okay. Whew. Because I remember, manga series is only really spin-offs. Cinderella Grey was that. And that came later. And then the anime that had the really good DVD sales. And I think that had game promotions, so I just assume it's all to promote a mobile game because those make so much money. I'm not a part of that money yet. I've not spent any yet. Just waiting for Oguri Cap to be a gacha character. Okay, I'm 3 for 3 so far. Are there any horse boys? I've been looking at that, right? But I have not been able to see any. They always like cut off the ears ahead of time. So I'm gonna say no. Because you see, girls in gacha games make more money than boys. Therefore, girls are more profitable. Oh boy. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's done that, though. Horse boys instead of horse girls. I don't know. Somebody's probably made some spin-off visual novel where the horse girls are horse boys instead. And then you date them. Yeah, I'm not going to think about that. I'll be alright. Why does Tom... What? Who is that? That girl? Real horse... She has a tragic... Oh, it's probably something with the real horse, because they love to do that sort of thing. So, this one... I chose the wrong real horse one. There's a cataract, though. Huh. Suppose that's interesting. Never get the real horse racing, because you can't really... like, talk to the horses and tell them to do their best or whatever. They just kind of have to figure it out. How many children of Simbali Rudolph are in the game? Children? How many she wants? I mean, that's not wrong. But I, quite frankly, have... She has children? I guessed. Okay. Right, because I know there's some other Rudolph ones. I don't know. There was one in Cinderella Grey. Now, look, Cinderella Grey might have been... It's the only one I've seen of the series. This is like, this one's airing right now. I might as well see what the horse girl stuff is about. And then I left it. And now I'm slightly addicted. But I can stop anytime I want, okay? I don't think that was, children, but go ahead. What country was El Condor Pasa originally from? That sounds Spanish. I should have known. Americans, right? Yeah. Goodness. They just do they do that really weird, don't they? It's named after the following rapper. This horse? Who is that horse? Who? Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Tupac. Tupac doesn't make sense. They got like the two names usually. Snoop Dogg, Ice. I don't know. I'm gonna think Biggie Smalls because that's trends. It was the first one. All right, I won't use critical thinking skills for my horse girls. They don't want you to think. It's all a big ruse. What I gotta do is start horsing around. You teleport mares and stallions. I saw this on Twitter. It is the ear decoration on one side or the other. Yes, it's that one. I saw it on Twitter, and then I immediately checked the comments. It's like, is this right? Apparently, it's not entirely true, but it's mostly true. Yay! All right. You know, once I'm horsing around, you know, we're doing good. It's a romantic gesture for Uma Musume. Holding... What are these pictures? Where do they get these? Are these just for the support cards in the game? The gacha things? That would make sense. People would totally spend money on those pictures. True or false, Uma Musume run just as fast as real horses. I know. I mean, that's cool, though. Look at that. Like, huh. That is cool. Run as fast as humans, horses. I have no idea. Yes, apparently. You know, what am I thinking? Of course, I need to horse around more. Mind empty. Ready to spend money on all the gacha anime girls. Two Uma Musume have romantic undertones. It's likely that real horses bred to each other as actual representation. They were considered rival. Of course they're married in real... It's all of them? Okay. So basically, they just give them romantic undertones just because it's better for marketing. Money. They gotta get the money. Okay. Mind empty. Nishino Flower, a famous broodmare, was covered by how many stallions, which are featured in the game? Broodmare was covered by how many stallions? Would be all of them. This is all of them -2. Gah. Maybe I do need thinking. This Uma Musume shares a voice actor. Okay. Which one is that again? Oh no, and it's all Japanese. I watched dub. No. Okay. Which one does she look like? In Arknights, maybe? No. Okay. I was like, oh, she looks strong and powerful, and in Arknights, everyone has a gun. So maybe, you know, power is dumb. Ryuko, yeah, she's a schoolgirl. Damien, it could be Damien, because, you know, child, and they give him, you know, girly voices. But, you know, I didn't, you know, usually in the dub, they go a little overboard with that, so, yeah. Oh, that's all those? Nobody gets third, because I don't have friends available. Oh, hey, look, I got first place. Look at me. So good. Let's move on to our next quiz. We are prepared for our next quiz, still about horse girls. But this time, it said that fake trainers get 0% and die in the Japanese Derby. And I don't know about you, But that scares me because I don't want to die today. I don't know what happened with the recording, but that's all right. We just answered an easy question about Uma Musume being horse. Now it's on to the next problem. Question. Thing. Man, it's all right. So what if I get recording problem? What should these sources? Oh, that is special week, right? Yeah. Of course it's special week. That's what they had when people, started playing the game. The special week. Speed determines how fast your Uma Musume is running. Well, duh. Okay, so this is definitely more about the game than just general facts and knowledge. Tracing stands for Training Center. I have no idea. I mean, that Tracing Training Center... It's too good not to be it, right? It's gotta be Training Center. Which is just about the only thing they do there, because they don't show any of the actual classwork. Which one of the following is not an on-launch training? Well, luckily it just came out, so I can tell you that it is... I have no idea. I don't know, I just got Ogre, and now that's all I did, so... Bourbon. Of course, bourbon. Yeah, of course it's alcoholic beverages. What am I thinking? They say, yeah, I don't know. Which one of these is not a type of distance? Long, short, mile, medium. It's a good question. I know mile is, because Ogre does the mile. Short. It might be sprint. Yeah, it's sprint. It's not short, it's sprint. Because they wanted to change the name for some reason. Medium's like 1,000, maybe 150. Long is, I think, about 2,000. And then mile is like 3,600 or something weird. I haven't a clue. I just go, ooh, Ogre loves the mile. Let's have her do a mile race. And then I'm like, oh no. Our actual race is up next, and she's 7th favorite to win. I'm going to lose and fail miserably. I'm sorry, Ogre, I have failed you. And then we ended up getting first place, so it worked fine. Which of these is not a running style? I was just looking at these, so of course I know. Front runner, pace chaser, late starter, and closer. Late starter, right? Yeah. I had to change her from... The third one, which isn't actually shown here, to the pace chaser. And then in that race where she got first place, she just ended up being a front runner the whole time. Like, she's supposed to be chasing the pace, not running the front. But goodness, my Ogre goes above and beyond. I love it. Grass is the type of track that certain trainees have proficiency in. Well, the picture would make me believe that's true. Look at all that grass. Turf and dirt. But grass considers turf, right? Eh. They gotta hit us with a false every once in a while, right? So, of course, it's gotta be that. Let's see. How many stars do Uma Musumes need to unlock their signature uniform? They have a signature uniform? None. They actually need to be potential 2. Like certain gacha units have special outfits? 3, 4. I don't think there's 4-star ones, unless you... No, there's not 4-star ones. So... you have to get the 3-star special gachas. Duh, what am I thinking? You gotta spend more money. Gah. Spend money. Spend money. Okay. Prepared to spend money. Stamina is a resource bar. Speed, track distance, correct conditions, and position all play in a race, all influenced by the stat. Yes. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, we can't see the resource bar unless it's a hidden setting that I just don't know about. But that's all right. What are the 3 main races in current career called? Those are the URA finals, I believe. Yeah, the URA finals. Because that's the whole sort of thing that they're doing with it, right? Because there's the special event. It's like, we are doing the URA stuffs. And when they were like, well, you're a cool girl. And they're like, haha, I know I am. I really don't know. What is Sakura Bakushino's best racing distance? It would be the one that Oguri was in, because I think, if I remember her right, she was in the Cinderella Gray, which would be my... I'm thinking of a different girl. My knowledge has failed me. I am pained. It's alright. What race is the graveyard of a medium... a graveyard of a medium Musume's first hopes... What? Graveyard? Armageddon. That is not a medium race. Japanese Derby. I don't know. Rainbow Road. I don't know Rainbow Road, so... it is... I think Cinderella Gray has lied to me. Japanese Derby is what she wanted to go into, which is not a medium. She agrees along. She loves the mile. That's fine. I just need to think more outside the box or whatever. What period during provided the most opportunity for Snap Rose? Oh, I'm just doing this. The summer camp. Duh. Because, beach episode. And, everybody's got to have that. Including the gacha games. So that way, you get to see your favorite cute girl in a swimsuit. And that's going to be the best. What is the indicator for when a training would provide the most bonuses? There's no bar below the icon. Rainbow effect. Shake with excitement. I believe it is a rainbow effect. Exclamation mark, I believe, means an event. Yes, because that is the friendship boost, which I was still just doing earlier. Like I said, I was just playing the game right before this recording. I promise I'm not addicted. I can stop, okay? I can stop thinking about horse girls. True or false? Power affects how fast you accelerate, speed on uphill, and how fast you change lanes. That's a good question. I'm inclined to say yes, but I don't know if it's... how fast you change... that's probably right. It's either that, or they had, tripped us up. It's like, ooh, the fast you change lanes is like the wit stat or something. I don't know. Luckily, they didn't try to trip us up like that. Guess determine how aggressively your Umuzume will change lanes and gain positions throughout the entire race course. That will change lanes and gain positions. No, that one's wit. Yeah, guts is... Yeah, because yeah. Guts, because Oguri doesn't need any, right? It determines how fast you run when your stamina is depleted. So just, go full on stamina and you're going to be all right. So, that seems all good there. You see, alarm clocks can be used to reach into failed race. Where did they get that picture from? Why is Gold Ship there? Sure, true, go ahead. I don't know. I wouldn't use that alarm clock. But I might if it had Oguri on it. Of the following Musume, who is best described as being the most eccentric? Gold Ship, Dewa Scarlet, Air Groove, Majoruma Queen. Eccentric. Well, I keep seeing all those things on Gold Ship, doing something with explosives. So I'm inclined to think that it's her. I open Twitter, and the first thing I see are about 12 memes about Gold Ship creating a pipe bomb. I I don't know what in the world this horse has done, and I don't want to know, but I want her to stay far away from me. The other ones are pretty nice though. Scarlet's kind of grown on me. She's kind of cute, but not as cute as Ogre. Not after Cinderella Gray. Moves may have an ultimate skill they gain when they hit level 6, and the trainer can activate them at will. I haven't seen anything about an ultimate skill. False. Because as far as I was aware, the races just happen. You know? It's kind of like how it'd be in real life. If you train somebody up and then they seem go off, you can't do anything but like yell at them. And they're not going to hear you that far away. And with that big of a crowd, it's not like combat sports where they're like right up against there, like, hey, we're gonna fight. Do this cool move. So, you know, it was Air Groove, well, Simboli Rudolph is definitely there. She is student council. 4 days until release. Ooh, it's a little late now. Agnes Tachyon. It's probably changed, but I wanted to say false. Good. Because I don't remember any of those being in there in the Cinderella Gray. I remember some other ones that are not those people. And I remember... Okay, look. I kind of was wrong earlier. I've watched some, like 2 episodes of the main series. And Tokai Teo was there in the office of Simbali Rudolph. So I assume she might be somehow related to that student council. But, you know, it's a, who among the following is Chip's IRL grandfather? IRL? I'm not following this. There was one random chart I saw earlier, but I don't even think that was Gold Chip. This is just actual horse lore. I don't know. It's Major Queen. Of course. I don't know. I always imagine that there's somebody out there doing a horse racing college report. And so they're gonna, they look up some names of horses and they're like, okay, yep, here's all this information. And then there's just this one horse they look up and it's, I don't know, we'll just say it's Major McQueen, right? They look up Major McQueen and they get so confused on why every option is about this random anime girl that has this weird exact name of this actual horse they're looking up. I would hate to imagine what that college paper would be about if they didn't realize. Or even what they'd have to go through to figure out why in the world there's an anime girl of Meijiro Queen. Maybe I should write a college essay, but I don't know. Special events and to have swag. Sure. Thing with Anime News Network watermark image. Go for it. It wouldn't work if I made the research paper, though. Because I already know. I can't, like, mix it up or anything. I could totally mix it up on purpose. I could say that every horse is a girl. Meijiro McQueen was a girl horse. So they are all anime girls. Just make it really confusing. Umuzume are ageless, only aging when they want to, and all their hopes and dreams are fulfilled. They are immortal! No? True? Huh? I was thinking I was like, that's so dumb. That can't be right. True? Huh. Because I'm thinking, how in the world do they determine, who wins the races? Because unless you age out, then everybody's going to win the race at some point in time. Everyone is going to get better and better until they, win the Japanese Derby or something. Have one horse there for 60 years because they can't age until they finally win the Derby, right? I don't know. It's just, that seems so weird to me. There are male Umamusume present within the game, and they can be found as AI opponents during your race. This is false. We already know that male Umamusume don't exist. We went over this. Of course they don't exist. They don't sell as much. Like, come on. It's not like there are real male horses in real life or something, right? Cars do not exist. This is also entirely incorrect. They have cars. This is false. Retired Umamusume carrying taxi people around some horseback. No. There are not enough Umamusume for that. Especially if they die once they fulfill all their hopes and dreams. Why? I don't get it. Stats. What determines the likelihood of random events occurring throughout the scenario? Such as minus mood events. It's the same image again! Why? Does she want to marry me or something? Which one of these Umamusume have never won a single race in their entire IRL life? According to my interesting knowledge regarding Umamusume memes on Twitter, I think it is Haru. Yeah. There was one guy who did one random tweet and it said like something about this guy betting $2 million on her winning or something. And of course she lost. What? Has never won a single race? Yeah, there's a lot of money lost on that girl. Or boy, I don't know. They're all horse girls, doesn't matter. Unplayable Umamusume are born in Japan due to copyright management and only domestic horses are represented. That's an interesting one. That's interesting thought process, because they definitely have. They've represented themselves overseas. They are, I don't know, I guess, false. It just sounded so interesting or weird that it kind of felt like it had to be true. But no, that's all right. I mean, yeah, they were at the Kentucky Derby. So, sure. I don't know where all the IRL horses come through. Well, duh, there was one training in the U.S. at the end of Cinderella Gray. What am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. Guts, we already went over that. There's a hidden romance stat all Umamusume have. Let's see. What does it do, though? What is that picture? Where do they get these? Hidden races are doing certain training. Guts raises this. False? Because what would it do? Is it just there? That's totally something. Outside of doing cooking rainbows, extra costs and stamina. That false. There's an extra cost in stamina? Like, what does that mean? I say, what does that mean? Of course I know what that means. I didn't, what? That doesn't exist. Ogre Crab is known for being the glutton who eats a lot of food as if she was a starving child. My girl! I love her. Of course I'd get this one right for you, Ogre. Of course. My girl. What influences skill trigger and speed during races plus overall speed variance also decreased is rushed. That sounds accurate enough. I always consider wits as smarts, and that's why I don't train it on Ogre. Which of these is not an effect mood has on Umumuzume? Decreases, that's probably true. Raising performance is probably true. Influences trading career events. I kind of clicked that one a little too fast, but it worked out. I just figure, it wouldn't affect their chances, but I feel like it would affect what it actually is, the particular event. Oh, double points, okay. Humans might place their hopes and dreams in our hands. If they fail, it is we who have felt our sin to carry. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, Ogre. I don't wish to fail you. Oh, my goodness. As always, I have won, luckily. Of course I have. Who would I be? Now that I've gotten horse girls out of my system, it's only right to go over to the, obvious next choice of quiz. The American Civil War. Obviously. I'll have to see if my school knowledge has held up. Lincoln suspended the blank to deal with dissonance. What? Voting rights for free African Americans? The writ of okay, apparently it is not held up. Life sentence. Deal with dissonance in the inscription drafting of all men. I have no idea. I don't know things. The writ of I don't know if I ever knew that, but if I have, I certainly do not remember it. Like, that's one of those random things they just made you remember. They didn't tell you what it really meant, they just made you remember it. So, of course I forgot what that is. Why is the Battle of Gettysburg considering a turning point in the Civil War? Battle of Gettysburg. I kind of forgot what happened there. Was the Confederacy surrender? I don't think it's surrendered. Made the South give up the idea of invading the North. I don't know. First Union victory? Sure, nope, okay. Made the South give up the idea of invading the North. So I guess it was not the first victory, but it should have been a victory if they gave up the idea. I'm realizing how little impact those history classes I took had on me. Which the following abolished slavery in the rebellious territories. This is also a great question. And quite frankly, I'm going to have to guess. Gettysburg Address, I don't know, Emancipation Proclamation? Of course the Emancipation Proclamation, it sounds cool! All the history I know is the stuff that I came up with myself instead of the stuff they told from our readings and discussions. What readings? I didn't go over anything. Which area did the South have a clear advantage over in the North? Over the North in the Civil War. Ooh, yeah, this is yeah, industrial capacity. It's one of these, I'll tell you. You. Does the South have a clear advantage? Oh, I misread them. Yeah, because the South was really bad at civilian leadership, I remember. Because they literally just elected a random guy. Like, seriously, guy didn't even want to be president. But he was the president. That was the guy of the South. And, as you'd expect, nobody really liked him. I mean, at least by that I mean, there were a lot of riots. People weren't having a good idea. But yes, they did have a pretty good military. What's the first state to secede from the United States? South Carolina. I thought that said South California. It's like, of course it's that. California, I don't think was it. There's states that did not secede. Virginia. Alabama. I don't know. Virginia, maybe, because it's on the line. Nope, it was South Carolina. I honestly nixed that once I thought it said South California. 0 points. I've failed every one of these questions. When the Civil War began, what was Abraham Lincoln's main goal? In the war within 6 months, abolish slavery, preserve the Union, punish the South. I don't know. He's not a punishy type of guy, was he? I don't know. I think just preserve it. Yeah. I finally got one. Yeah! I assume he just wanted to say, hey, we're going to have our thing over here. You're not going to do anything. The Confederacy included all of the following states except Texas, Floriland, Maryland. Floriland? Did I say Floriland? Texas, Alabama. Oh, Maryland? I don't remember a Maryland discussion. Yeah. I don't remember being, like, in those far south regions, you know? The formal withdrawal of a state from the Union is known as... Didn't we already go over the secession? Secede? Not succeed. They did not secede. It's a tongue twister. Secede, succeed. They did not accomplish their goals, okay? His position on slavery in 1858? Well, he wasn't a fan of it. Immoral, each state should decide what to do on this issue. It should not spread because it is morally and politically wrong. They give extra time for this question. Okay, I'll think. Slavery is okay because it's necessary for a nation's economic health. At that point, it almost was. They did have to figure that part out later. It's not immoral. Each state should decide what to do on this issue. Because if I remember right, he's kind of said to be this, like, anti-slavery guy, but he kind of didn't really care one way or another. So I think it's this one. Nope. Because it's morally and politically wrong. Because I remember there was something on that. That he wasn't, like, just truly anti-slavery guy, right? Because there was that whole, you know, segregation-y sort of thing, which I'm sure he would not have liked if it had, you know, done that way. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it all confused with everything else. I don't know. Grant. Ooh, Grant. Yeah, he was cool, wasn't he? Right? Led the Southern Army to early victories. He kind of did. Was the president of the Confederate States? I don't think he was. I think that was some other random guy, and it's not Grant. Unless I'm thinking of a totally different war thing. Total war strategy. It's probably that one, yeah. Yeah, what was it? I want to say Stonewall Grant. Never mind, it was Stonewall Jackson. I don't know. Again, name remembering things are not my specialty. I just know Grant kind of sounds cool. He's got to be a coolish guy. 407 years ago, our founding fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation. This is another name remembering one. Gettysburg Address. It's the Emancipation Proclamation of the Gettysburg Address. I don't know. He addressed people. I guess it's the Gettysburg Address. It could be there, sure. No issue can't be. The primary economic activity of the South is manufacturing. I don't think that counts crops. I think they did that in the North, so I would go with false. Yeah, because they had a lack of guns and other weaponry because it was all being manufactured in the North. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I have no idea what I'm saying. It could be right. Sherman's march to sea! Yeah! That was cool. Which of the following war strategies? Wait it out. No, he didn't. He walked. He walked, man. He went. He walked all the way to that sea. And I think he actually stopped short, but it's cooler if you say he went to the sea. Women helped out during the war in all of the following except... Oh, that was one of those things. Serving as nurses, working in factories, businesses, voting for new... Political leaders? I don't think they had that yet. And that doesn't really fit with all the other stuff. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was in a patch later in the United States. Like maybe 8.4 or something, I don't remember. Maybe it was 4.8. The North relied on all the following sources of troops except African Americans. They did help mercenaries, military draft restriction. What, 4 seconds. Mercenaries. Good. I did it. African Americans. Yes, they used them. They rioted. Military draft conscription. Sure. You know, why not? Volunteers. That's just joining the army. Mercenaries. They were broke enough already. Alright, 2 more questions here and then I can stop. The Civil War. What immediately result of the Emancipation Proclamation was that ordered all southern slaves to be free, gaining a moral purpose for the war, and there's already a purpose. United the Republican... What? They kept Great Britain out of the war? They were already out. They didn't care. There's only one that actually makes sense. You know, the War of... the Independence one. War of Independence. That's not the name, was it? I don't remember. It's the name stuff. Civil War is just about the only war I remember. You best believe I get the Civil War and the Independence one confused. While serving in the African Americans faced all the following except higher death rates. They did higher income taxes, lower pay. Higher income taxes. That assumes they get income. Why would they get income, right? Yay, I did really bad on that quiz. Let's hope I do better on the next one. Now, after that one, I just want to do something that I'm probably pretty good at, right? But, you know, I don't want to make it too easy. So, here I have prepared an anime quiz, but it's in a language I don't know. So I should know the answers to just about every one of the questions, if I can figure out what the questions are. Food Wars Academy. Comment s'appelle Académie de Cuisine dans Food Wars. What is the name of the academy in Food Wars? I have no idea. Yukihira is not a prodigy. What? Tutsuki? Tutsuki? I don't... This one calls out to me. In my defense, I didn't watch Food Wars. In my defense as well, that's not my native language. I don't know what that means. Oh, this one's double points. What? Okay, 60 seconds? So, do I have to figure out what this OST is from? I mean, it has Comey there. Is this just a Comey one? I mean, it's really light. I can barely hear it. And the other ones are all just... I mean, I know those ones. But I don't pay attention to the OSTs. But I see Comey, so I click Comey. Yeah, okay, good. I'm smartish. Why did they put in the thing there? What? JoJo? Oh my goodness. Oh no. Pays in Principal de Part 3 of JoJo. Japan. Oh great. Luckily, these are all decently similar enough to English. I think they went to Egypt, so I'll say Egypt. Yeah, okay. Good, I knew that one. Why is this one in all caps? Saint Seiya? Oh no. Why do you have a thing above you? And why are you in a bold font? It's that one. The other ones he just typed in. That one he had to copy paste. Therefore, I'm gonna metagame this as much as I can. Because I don't know what this is besides Naruto. This is a true or false? Huh. The Izanami modifier? Guessing. Of course, they put it false first. Oh, another one. Violet Evergarden. Great, I don't know what those say. Well, as Premier Ambition. Why? What is the thing they do in Violet Evergarden? What? Automatique. That could be it. That sounds like automaton, which he is. There's basically a definition. That's the only one I can think of it being. Nope. It is comprehend the definition of something that I don't know. This is a little harder than I thought it'd be. Get opening. No. I don't watch Saint Seiya. But that's a very old-ish. I don't know. I mean, it's probably old-ish. So it might just be like the original. Nope, it's Hades, of course. Don't watch Saint Seiya. I didn't think that I'll Captain to Bleach. Hear when I said that I thought I'd get them all right? I don't watch Bleach. I know the guys' names, their faces, though, just about. And I want to say Aizen. And I want to be wrong. This was all part of my plan. I'm, like, entirely, very good. L Death Note. Night. What is the question here? There's Light Yagami Night. Something L and then Death Note. Ryuk. I guess, like, Rim? Rim is the name of the Shikigami that, Misa had. Yeah, that was her name. That was the other one. Shikigami. I clearly didn't understand what in the world that question was asking. Duh, of course. Man, I'm making my best. Tsukasa. And that's... Oh. Okay. I see Tsukasa and Nasa, right? And they're the husband and wife couple. That's what the anime is about. And I see here fiancés. Fiancés. That seems about right. If they're getting married, then that's what they'd be. Fiancé. Makoto Edamura. Got a picture? Oh. Huh. Must not have seen that anime. Journalist. He's not a chef in the mafia, probably. He doesn't look like one. I don't know what an S-Croc is. Are those like shoes that you wear in your feet? The S-Crocs? Professor? He could be a professor. But that's like too obvious, so maybe... What in the world is an S-Croc? Okay. What is that? I must figure out. Oh, crook. Okay, he's just a crime guy. He just does crime. Okay. He's a crime committer. Of probably like breaking and entering. Sports Sakamichi? Ooh. Okay, which sports anime is that guy in? Let me think. Ice Shield 21. He does have an Ice Shield, but I don't think it needs to be that high a number. Prince of Tennis, I don't think this... I want to say he pedals. So I'll say that. The art style just kind of reminded me of that one. Not that I've seen any of those. I don't go out of my way to watch sports animes a lot. Speaking of sports animes, this one's haiku. Oh no, what's the question? Defense? Okay, defense. So do I just have to know which one of these guys' names is on defense? No, that wouldn't be hard if I had watched the show. Question is, which one of those guys is on defense? Because I didn't watch the show. So, I don't know, Dateko? Oh my goodness, I got it right. His name just kind of sounded defense-y. Dateko. Either that or, like, aggressive. But he reminds me like a Stonewall guy, like a Stonewall Jackson. Nanashimura okay. Oh no. Okay. This one, I know. Which number of One for All is she? Which number? I don't keep track of these. So I want to say 7th. Okay. I was gonna say 6. It's like maybe Deku is 8. All Might's gonna be 7, so she's 6. No, he must be 9th, Deku, and so All Might 8, she's 7. Because she was All Might's teacher. Personage? Is this Persona? Nope, that's not Persona. I see Carol and Tuesday. But that doesn't look like either Carol or Tuesday. I don't know the other ones. I didn't see Carol and Tuesday. But I don't think she's a Sybil either. She looks noble, and Angela's a noble name. Is that Tuesday? Carol and Tuesday? Hold on. Carol and Tuesday. I must confirm. Factually checking wise. Nope, that's right. Well, if I had assumed that was the case anyway, I would have picked Carol. I didn't watch that one. I just assume, Carol's like the chic one, and Tuesday's the non-chic one. More anime opening ones. Is this just an actual anime opening quiz? What? What? Huh? Okay, well, if I got time, I might as well take it. I mean, sure, it's gonna get copyrighted, but you get an ad, that's not me. This is not an anime opening quiz. This is like a lyrics video. So we were on Carol and Tuesday, right? But this is not Carol and Tuesday. I've heard that opening before. I don't know what Lagarson Dakota is. It could be Bloom Into You. I haven't actually seen any of these. I doubt it's Super Cup. But it sounds girly. Why am I so incorrect? Everything I say is wrong. I talk a big game, and then look at me. What am I doing? What's the question? Okay, this is quintuplets. Quintessential quintuplets. I know this one. Reflective Bien Indice 1. I don't know. Itsuki is the first in line usually. No. That's fine. It's alright, I'll pull ahead through our next quiz. Never mind, I'm not pulling ahead at all. It's Star Wars. Oh boy. You might have remembered when I did all those Star Wars quizzes on Sporkle for Star Wars Day. And if you didn't, I don't blame you. I have not learned anything from them. I still have not seen any Star Wars movies besides Rogue One. I'm not a fan of Star Wars. And I will not get this quiz. Correct. I'm not doing it. It's not gonna go. Well, it's not happening. May the force be with you? Oh, I hope so. I'm gonna need it. Gonna need all the force I can get. The beginning of Star Wars: A New Hope, Princess Leia and her ship are carrying what? Great question. I didn't watch that one. Carrying what? Secret plans to Death Star. The main council of the Rebel Alliance, escaped prisoners from the Empire, or Bexstar Steel. Secret plans to the Death Star. This might be the one that happens after Rogue One, in which case it'd be the Death Star. Yay! My limited Star Wars knowledge happened and came in handy. Yay! Read the classic line. That's no moon. It's I don't know. Classic line? It's not that old, right? Right? No, it's not the spaceship or shaped space station. And it's probably like the Death Star, so it's probably a space station. I don't think they refer to the Death Star as a spaceship. Just kind of sits there. What does Han Solo owe to Jabba the Hutt? Bexstar Steel. It's the steel that's made a reappearance. Credits, just money, an Imperial landing craft, or a droid. All these are weird ones. Han Solo, he's the bounty hunter, right? So I assume droid? No, he just owes them money. Okay. He's in debt. Han Solo is just in debt to Jabba the Hutt. Of course. Why? Just owes him money. What, is he late on rent or something? It's like, you need to pay your electricity bills, Han Solo. The Imperial Empire, Total Evil Empire. Well, the fact that they have Total Evil Empire makes me think it's the Imperial Empire. Because that's how these quizzes usually work. Here, I didn't even realize that engines were on both of those. Either would have known that it has a twin ion engine. Like, I'm not a fan of Star Wars, let alone their whole spacecraft stuffs. Cloud City hangs in the atmosphere above which world? Great question. You mind telling me? Yavin, Bespin, Tatooine, or Endor? I don't know if Yavin or Bespin. I think Bespin is like B-spin, and then you go rotate. Rotate. So I think in Tatooine or Endor. In Endor, I think isn't doing so well. So Tatooine. They are rotating so fast right now. They're going in big old circles. They love being spun around. In what world does Obi-Wan Kenobi tell Luke to find Yoda? Is this young Obi-Wan? Because I thought he was younger. Alderaan? Isn't that the name of a dragon or something? Alderaan? Kashyyyk? Dagobah or Bespin? I don't know. I don't think Yoda would like being spun that much. He's an old man, so Dagobah. Kind of sounds like something an old man would say. Dagobah. I mean, it had to be a really old man, though. What is the Emperor's name? That guy? That Palpatine? Because General Grievous, Niro, that almost sounds like me. Dooku, Count Dooku, but it's Emperor Palpatine. Yeah. Of course, Mr. Niro is a very good guy, as I'm sure everyone knows. Which actor provided the iconic voice of Darth Vader? I don't know. Who here do I know? I know James Earl Jones, I think. I've heard his name before. I don't know the other ones. So, all you have to do is pick the most recognizable one. I mean, he's Darth Vader. Of course it'd be recognizable. I am fluent in over something forms of communication. How many forms of communication are there? 800,000, nope, 6 million. Like, how many forms of communication? Like, are we including the ones they use in, like, baseball or something, where they're all touching their faces or whatever? Like, yes, I know what they're saying. They are going to go for a lower inside curveball. I mean, I'll take him on my team. If he's fluent in that many languages. The odds of surviving an asteroid field depends on the pilot. Three to 1. Usually it's, the good outcome first, so I'm thinking that it's not quite these. 5,124. 3,000 kind of sounds, but yeah, okay. I'm assuming it's like low. It's like, we're going to die 3,720 times to every one we survive. But the odds of surviving are 3,720 to 1. I don't know. I just feel like that needs to be swapped around. Unless I just am thinking too much like those Tokyo U things from before. Has kind of fried my brain of all the math. Because everything needs to be in the right order and it doesn't make any sense. What planet does Jabba the Hutt live? He doesn't look like somebody who'd spin around a lot. He looks a little sluggish. I think he would like a croissant. I think he would. Tatooine. Those guys don't look like Tatooine guys behind him. I think he just wants a croissant. No. He hates croissants. He doesn't like him at all. Kind of sad. They're good, man. You should have one. Princess Leia dresses as a bounty hunter to rescue Han using this name. It's not Boba Fett. It's probably one of the Bosch ones. Bosk sounds kind of cooler. No. Princess Leia isn't that cool, then. I'm not doing so well on this one, but that's alright. At least I'm doing better than some other ones. Keep getting worse every time. The Force Awakens, who attacks the Millennium Falcon to settle debts with Han Solo? Debts? Then that's... Oh, there's no Jabba the Hutt. That's an issue. Droids, Kanji Club. I don't think that's it. Cuving Death Gang. I mean, that sounds kind of cool. They're both of them, huh? The Kanji Club. They study Japanese in school. Why would they not like him? Did he borrow one of their books and never give it back? Those textbooks are expensive, Force Awakens, BB-8, and R2-D2 are both carrying parts of what? I didn't watch that one. I mean, that looks like some sort of map. I know there's a lot of messages there. Star Killer Base. Oh, that's probably what that is. You lied to me. You lied to me. You evil image. How dare you do this to me? What is the last thing Princess Leia says to Han Solo in The Force Awakens? Is that it? Is this the old one? Are they old in this one? I'm home. May the Force be with you. Wait for me. Bring. I don't know. Wait, nope. It's the other one who's leaving. Oh boy, I still got first though. Yeah, I'll take the medal. Woo! Now look. For our final one, I just kind of want to win, alright? So I'm going to do something I know, okay? I know my BJJ submissions. I do that thing, so I should theoretically be able to fully 100% this quiz. 100% passing grade, no failed questions. With submission, just win the match. Alright, that's... the match is 5 minutes, let's say, and you do a submission at like 4:30, time remaining. You're not doing the last 4:30. Which, that really helps for those like longer ones where you have to do multiple fights, those longer brackets. Because you do a lot less actual fighting time. So you're going to be much more energized. You're not going to be tired because you wouldn't have fought for that long. So submissions are quite good to get. Either that, or you're going to get into a good position, you're going to rest. Alright. This picture shows an armbar. Well, does it? It's a hard one to see, but yeah, that's an armbar. Classical, well, it's not a classical armbar, because those require you to be facing the sky when doing those. Both your guys' backs are on the ground for those. But, in terms of some other position, well, the position itself is going to be the same. It's just, good. Americana lock will make pressure at, and elbow and shoulder. Okay, good. I was like, are they going to talk about the elbow or the shoulder? Because different people say different things. Luckily, they just put it together. Yeah. Personally, I feel it in my shoulder. I hear a lot of people hear it in the elbow. So I guess it depends on age and flexibility, right? Younger guys are going to feel it in their shoulder, older guys are going to feel it in their elbow. Don't know. All I know is that it's not a fun thing to be in. Is this position of a triangle choke? It is a bad triangle choke. The guy is really off-centered. You see, here, I'll bring my mouse over. Woo! The white guy should be parallel straight, but he's off to the side. These legs should be locked. Yeah, I need to, answer the question. But yes, these legs should be locked at the knee. So this foot right here has to be at the knee, and that'd be a good one. Well, it's not required, but it's good. The angle does need to be gathered, though, or else this guy isn't being choked. He's already in kind of a not very good choking position because he's already partially out. You look at his, face there. Because you're choking his neck with your leg. So. Specifically this one. If you don't get the leg on the neck, it doesn't work. So if he's off to the side and kind of out, then not going to work too well. I think his other hand is over here, which is definitely not where you want the other hand to be. If I was in this guy's position at the bottom, I would start thinking about the armbar. That, or I'd try to scoot over to this side, his left, and try to grab this leg so I can recenter the angle. But yes, now that I've properly analyzed that triangle choke, we shall move on to the next question. Didn't even involve it. To make triangle choke, you need to squeeze your legs? Yes, that is true. However, as I was just saying, I didn't say squeeze your legs harder. I said get into these positions and make sure all your opponents like this and all that stuff. So yes, you do need to squeeze your legs a bit, but you shouldn't be needing to squeeze your legs. Isn't it so much more fun when you know the topic that it's about and you can really talk about that? This is another armbar. This is far side armbar. All of this. It is not all of that. This far side armbar. This is not really. No, it kind of is far side because he's going for the other side than he really is at. Because the other guy's standing. It's weird. It's not short. I don't know. Far side armbar is just maybe I'm making that up. I never cared for the names in this. Wait, it just says arm lock there. What am I thinking? I didn't even realize that. I just saw the guys. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be an armbar. Yeah. You know another thing. Like, are we crossing that? Like, you need to trap the other arm, or else he's gonna just escape. He can go out the back here because he's standing, and then you got nothing. You know, if you're not trapping the head and the shoulders, he just goes out and you get nothing. Okay, next. I'll stop complaining about their graphics. All right, we just went over this. This is a triangle choke. If you really want to be specific, it is all of it. You can actually no, it's Kimura, not Americana that you get from there. You can get an armbar though. The armbar is perfectly viable from that position. All you have to do is kind of straighten out, and then you can just press against that arm since it's isolated, and you do have control of those shoulders because you're squeezing the head. Only because you're squeezing the head, as opposed to the last one. He was not squeezing that head. Squeeze as in squeeze, but not squeeze. Differentiation needs to be made. It's funny how the right answer just, just has the details there. Yes, this is an Americana. You take one of their hands to the mat, and then you bring up their shoulder, and it kind of pops it all out of place. This would be a good one, except it's not. This is a demonstration one. How do I know? This guy's a black belt. That's really it. It's a black belt, and they're not doing it properly. So they're just demonstrating what the Americana is. All right, this is no competition. This is just what they're doing. So, otherwise, you would really want this hand to be on the ground. You'd want to have your hips off to the side on their hips. Otherwise, they will escape. Yeah, that's about it, really. Even if they pressure upwards a little bit, it's not going to be good. Submission will bring you victory in the jiu-jitsu fight. We went over this. Yes. Yes, it will. That was literally the first question, man. Of course it's going to bring you victory in the jiu-jitsu fight. Of course. Yeah, and of course, first place, I get them all right. As I should. If anyone wants to challenge me, this is my formal declaration of war. Fight me in Kahoot. I will accept your challenge and I will win. All right. Just please be there. Just let me actually fight you.